All right, welcome to day 15, December 15th. And I have a special guest with us today. This is Bill Feist, and I've known Bill for probably about 15 years or so. Um, but the reason I brought Bill in today is because he is an expert certified in Ho'Oponopono. And some of you who have been tapping with me for a long time know that I refer to Ho'Oponopono and the words of this ancient healing practice, especially when we work on relationship issues, although it works for way more than that. So, Bill, I thought I'd bring him in to maybe tell you a bit more about Ho'Oponopono, and then maybe we can integrate this magical Hawaiian healing practice into some tapping. So, Bill, tell us first, how did you become interested in Ho'Oponopono?
I had gone to a seminar back in the spring of 2007. Friar Justin Belitz, uh, and he's out of Indianapolis, and during his seminar, he mentioned this guy with Ho'Oponopono that cured all these criminally insane people or in a criminally insane asylum in Hawaii. It was like, huh? You know, seriously, so it piqued my interest and it piqued Deb's interest too. And so we started looking and we found that there was a book out there called Zero Limits, which we immediately got and read, and we were hooked. We really wanted to find a class. So we looked up a class. There was one in Chicago and there was one in Charlotte, North Carolina. But the one in Charlotte was going to be Dr. Hu Lin. He was doing
The
that.
founder, right?
Oh, I mean, in Chicago, we had family to stay with. Not so, I mean, but regardless, we're going to, well, actually, he's not the founder, but he's one in the many steps of the company or the process. And
Mhm.
we went to Charlotte and we learned it down there. The process has been an ancient Hawaiian process where families got together and periodically and discussed any issues they had with each other. They had a moderator and they got through their problems and then they would go their separate ways.
Mhm.
Well, as the hundreds of years or the centuries went by, families weren't near each other anymore. And the person, Morna Samoa, I believe it was her name, was uh, the head of Ho'Oponopono before Dr. Hu Lin. She started making the process simpler because people weren't together. And so and then Dr. Hu Lin refined it to what we have today.
So
And
basically, can you share with us the four statements used in Ho'Oponopono and just basically what we're going to be doing with those four statements when we use them with tapping?
the idea is you've got four statements. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
And does the order matter? Because
The
I use
order
them in a
does
different
it
format.
doesn't matter. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, when you get into the depth of Dr. Hu Lin working within the prison ward, he only used "I'm sorry" and "thank you."
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
those are the only two he used. He would set their file in front of them, read their file, and go as he was reading out through it. He'd go, "I'm sorry, thank you, I'm sorry," and he would do that, and then he'd move on to the next file. He
Hmm.
also found he had to start doing that with the people that worked there too,
Right.
because some of them had an attitude,
Hmm.
as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, the four statements are: I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you.
Okay. So I start with "I'm sorry" just because Karen Drucker's song starts with that word, and then
Mhm.
I go from there. Have you heard Karen Drucker's song?
I have.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, how about if we tap a little bit with those statements? Maybe
Okay.
do 2 rounds of tapping on the statements, and then see if there's anything else we want to talk about. Okay. So
All right.
I'll lead us, and please you can repeat with me.
And just a little preface is
Mhm.
these statements are for cleansing so that you can cleanse what's in you that keeps the divine from shining through you and helping direct you.
Yeah. So this is a perfect thing to do before you're with a difficult person,
Absolutely.
or when you're expecting.
Or as you encounter things, but because you don't always know what's going to happen in your life. But Dr. Len does it before he goes on flights,
Okay.
before he has to drive in Los Angeles. You know, I mean, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, just simple things, but he does it all the time for everything.
Okay, so no matter what you do this holiday season, start doing this in preparation so you're clean. All right. Even though I'm expecting trouble with this person, and you can repeat it if you want,
Okay. Even though I know I'm expecting trouble with this person,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I'm expecting a difficult encounter,
Even though I'm expecting a difficult encounter,
because that just happens this time of year.
that just happens this time of year.
I love and accept myself anyway.
I love and accept myself anyway.
And I open myself to greater peace,
I open myself to greater peace.
even though this time of year provokes difficult people.
Even though this time of year provokes difficult people.
And I might be more sensitive to them too.
And I might be more sensitive to them too.
That's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
And I'm willing to love and accept myself
And I'm
all
willing
the,
to accept
all the way. And I open myself to the highest inspiration
I open myself to the highest inspiration
as I connect with these phrases.
as I connect with these phrases.
On the top of the head, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
Let's do one more round. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you. All right. That felt good. That felt good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So how is it tapping with those statements?
I like it because I know what to say if I use these statements in my tap.
Yeah, I know.
I sometimes I get tongue tied when I try to tap, and that's why I like watching you do it because you don't. And it's
Well, you're not alone with that. So one of the things I wanted to make sure to mention to everybody here is Bill is going to start doing some seminars in Ho'Oponopono, and he has the premier seminar coming up in Strongsville, Ohio, which is also my hometown, coming up on January 28th. And there's a very special low rate for this gathering. And so I will put information out there so you guys can get in touch with Bill. I'm encouraging him someday to do a seminar on Zoom, but he's got to start somewhere, and live feels appropriate. So
he currently has his limitations.
Yeah. And he's a certified expert. And I think what makes you credible, Bill, is that you've actually been using this, right?
I'll tell you, in the 15 years, there's things you're going, wow, this is, I'm glad this happened, or this happened, things have just been wonderful. There's some things that haven't been wonderful, but you accept it as part of it.
Yeah. So you mentioned before what do you think is really happening when you use these statements?
I think what's really happening is what Dr. Hulen says. You are making way for the divine come through you. Now, whether you choose to listen to the divine and do that, or go back to memories, that's fine. But I mean, it's because that's part of your free choice. But and it's a really difficult to give up some of the ways you used to respond to things.
Mhm.
As I go through this, occasionally life will throw me a curve, and it's like, well, I have a sister-in-law that just, when my father died in July, was just some of the things she said was just beyond the pale. It's like, you want to go back to I'll hate her for the rest of my life, and that's it. But I cleaned on it. I don't hate her, but I'm kind of careful who I choose to be a big part of my life. She's
Mhm.
she's not a big part of my life,
Yeah.
because unless things change, but that could happen.
Mhm.
That's what part of cleaning is. One of
Mhm.
the things about cleaning yourself is, and this goes back to the Hawaiian family thing, is as you clean the memories out of you, it cleans the memories out of others.
Yeah.
So, and you're cleaning the memories and hopefully that helps them too.
Well,
But
I see it as when you connect with the divine, you connect with everything. So you cannot
exactly,
possibly not
yeah.
affect the whole, the one, right?
And the divine is doing the cleaning.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
you're basically petitioning.
You're inviting it, right?
You're inviting.
Like, "Come on."
You're open to the cleaning. I would say open is probably a good word.
Okay. Okay.
And um, whether they are or not is another thing. But regardless, the cleaning's available.
Yeah. Very good. All right. Well, I think we'll let our audience go. I will give them information about learning more if they're interested. And certainly, I hope they tapped with us today on those statements and wrote them down so that they can do it again on whatever, right? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you.